Hi, it's Kenyon Clarke here for KCTV. I'm here with the beautiful Emma. She's been helping out with our social accounts because it has just gone nuts. It's so hard to keep up with. I can't believe the response that we've had just by putting content out there. And look, we know from Gary Vee, from Grant Cardone, from the different people that we've been to see that content is king, but God, it's just gone mad. So we're trying to keep up. I've got to create a whole new business around this. It's freaking me out, man. It's freaking me out. But look, we're going to have a lot of fun with KCTV. We're going to interview some great people.
Yeah.
You've been talking to a few?
Yeah, a lot.
Cool, rock and roll. Okay. So we've got school leavers, business owners, people at uni, people in trades. We've got a whole lot of different people.
Massive mix, yeah.
Okay, wicked. So we're going to try and do as much as we possibly can to be able to help you guys with your questions about business and about investing and about property. But at the moment, we've got a whole lot of questions on Instagram.
We do. I
Cool.
might start with what have you got planned for the week?
Okay, so this week it's really about building our social strategy because, man, it's just so busy, and if we don't actually make a plan, we're going to lose our minds, Emma. We're going to lose our minds. So that's the first thing we've got to do, and just creating a schedule around exactly what it is that we're doing. I've got some articles coming out on employing millennials. You know, you guys are my favorite people. You are my people. And I think there are a whole lot of employers who are missing a huge opportunity because millennials really are just the smartest generation. I didn't grow up with the internet. I barely grew up with a computer, man. And these things, hey, they were about the size of, I don't know, the size of a brick. And I think you guys are just too smart to work somewhere dumb. And employers need to get with that, and they need to be able to create and foster an environment of innovation and push. So got an article coming out on that. Also got an article coming out on urban regeneration and why I'm passionate about it and why I don't want to see us destroy our bush and our beaches and how I believe that the cities of the future can evolve. So that's something that's really, really close to my heart.
Awesome. Lots to look forward to then.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I forgot. We're building a $5 billion build-to-rent portfolio. So I've got meetings this week coming up with the partner from DOA Piper, who are one of our law firms, and the funds management experts from a whole group of different disciplines as we build out our product disclosure statement. So we're going to be raising about $300 million. We're going to be building some incredible property. I've got an amazing management team. I will introduce you guys to them at some future point, and we're going to build a lot of accommodation.
Awesome. All right, Shall we get stuck into some questions?
Why not? Hit me.
All right, Jonathan Wagstaff asked,
Hey, Jonathan.
was your background in real estate or construction? I always wonder how one has the knowledge going into it.
Okay, so by the time you're 42, man, and you do what I do, you have a background in both of them. But that's not where you start, right? And so my very first job, I started... my first real job was working in a cheese factory, which was horrible, I have to say. So, you know, like many people, I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I'd been asked to leave or kicked out of some of the best schools in the UK. Didn't have a formal education and just wanted to get out of the education system as quickly as I possibly could. And so I went and got a job in Lichfield, working in a cheese factory on the edge of a brine bath for a 9-hour shift. And when the cheese came down the wrong way, my job was to straighten it up, which was really depressing. So knew my future wasn't in cheese, Emma. And that was when I decided, okay, I've got to find something that I can do. And I found my way eventually into real estate sales. I started just before my 19th birthday, and I ended up being quite good at it. And over that time, I found that I really disliked working with home buyers, but I learned as much as I possibly could from investors, from property developers, and that's really been a journey that continues today. And it's about surrounding yourself with people who can teach you. So you should never, ever sacrifice your time for money. If you are lured by a new job just by money, then you're making a terrible mistake. You need to sacrifice your time for knowledge. It's super important.
Alrighty, next question. Ipati.
Emma,
yes.
Have you learned working with me?
A lot.
Okay.
A lot. And
Are you still
built
learning?
a lot of muscle as well.
Woo,
A lot.
love it. Cool.
Okay.
Who have we got next?
Ipati.
Hey, Apati.
I'm sure you have faced some extreme adversity multiple times on your business journey. Could you elaborate on what helped you deal with those difficult periods?
Okay. Yeah, definitely. So in 2008, I lost a $120 million business. We were just completely broke, and I was living on the dole. My wife was making 50-cent lunches. She was washing her hair with soap. But I think it's with the support of incredible people around you that you're able to get back up on your feet again and get going. And so I would absolutely encourage everyone who's listening to this to spend time with good quality people. And if you've got people in your life who aren't supportive or they're toxic, you need to be able to get rid of them. And sometimes what's really sad is that can be your family. And you need to be able to just create distance and find people who are going to support you in your journey and who can teach you things. You know, that's why children should be agreeable. A disagreeable child, no adult is going to want to spend enough time to teach them something. It's an important lesson as a parent. So, you know, we've got 4 kids and you want other adults to teach your children things. So be agreeable, have a quest and a thirst for knowledge, learn as much as you can every day.
All right. Did you balance work hours with family time?
Hell no. Listen, if you think balance is worthwhile, go and become a Buddhist monk. There is no such thing as balance. You've just got to chase your life. You've got to chase the things that you're passionate about. And in doing that, you will find far more joy with your family too. If you actually are worried about how you compartmentalize your time, I must spend so many hours here, I must spend so many hours there, you're not in balance, you're just a chaotic mess. And if you've got a mission that drives you on, you'll actually find that the people that you love come with you on that journey. And you'll also get behind theirs as well.
Yeah. All right. Some Instagram questions.
Love them. Love them.
Mick_IG.
Mick_IG. Who the hell are you, brother? You have got to change your handle. So if you are on social and you're using that as a platform, not just to consume, but also as a platform to get a message out there, you've got to have a handle that makes sense, right? Okay? I've got a big enough personality to be Kenyon and Clarke everywhere. But if I was just starting out, I would be Kenyon and property.
Okay.
So Mick_IG, that's my bit of advice for you today. So what did he ask?
What are the fundamentals to learn before branching into real estate investment?
Okay, the fundamentals to learn about real estate investment are real estate investment. You can learn it all. The internet's here, Mick_IG, because there's the opportunity to go online, to buy books, to download audiobooks, and I would say, just learn everything that you possibly can. It's your chance, right? The whole of the world is out there. And spend time with good quality people who actually want to help you or have experience in the field that you are interested in.
Right.
The life of Ragu. Wow. Is there a lot of life in Ragu? Do you know much about Ragu?
No.
That's a good handle, right? If you're into Ragu, that's a good handle. I love it. If you're searching Ragu online, you're going to follow this guy.
Yeah. Probably.
Or girl. Who is my biggest mentor?
That influenced you in your life.
Okay, so that would have to be my mum. She was a crazy entrepreneur, and look, I loved that growing up as a kid. So I can remember in the kitchen at home, she would be sitting on the floor, cup of coffee next to her, chain smoking cigarettes. We'd have a ton of people around. We'd be talking about ideas, talking about businesses, and it was just an incubator for excitement and passion. And I think that's something that I certainly bring to business, and certainly something I got from her. You know, she started so many different types of businesses. She had created graphic novels, children's stories. She built something called a party in a pack, which was basically a whole children's birthday party, Christmas party, whatever party within a pack. Then she had a business called the Beauty Cube, which was an injected molded product, which was a holder for women's cosmetics. And good God, we've still got thousands of these bloody things in storage. So yeah, she was a huge mentor for me. We built an incredible property portfolio together pre-2008. And yeah, she's an inspiration.
Okay. Mikey Hardy.
Hey, Mikey. Mikey, how you doing?
What's the best way to get into investing?
To do
Where
it.
should I start?
To do it. To do it. Do you think you got the message?
Say it a few more times.
To do it. Mikey, the best way to do anything in life is just to do it, just to commit. Get after it, man. And as well, look, it's been a theme of the chat today, right? Which is gaining knowledge. Mm-hmm. You know, the world is out there. There's a whole lot of information. You can come and chat to people like me. You can read online. You can buy a book, read a book. Don't just buy a book, read a book. The whole world's knowledge is contained within books. Buy a book and read it. And then do it, man. You've got to build that muscle. You've got to commit. That would be my advice.
How many books do you read a year?
I read at least one a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
But I am an insomniac. So that's not just read, right? So that's read or listen. Yeah. So I've got a combination. So when my wife is utterly sick of me, mm-hmm. and with the light on at night, I'll have a listen to an audiobook. Stick on the headphones and that's cool.
Okay. Antonio McGill.
Hey Antonio. You must be a very handsome man with a name like Antonio. I would like to get to know you better, Antonio. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What would he like to know?
What is the best 3 pieces of advice to young aspiring property developers?
Antonio, my advice to you is not to do it. So, Bob Jones said that being a property developer would turn a nun into an axe murderer. And I think it's true. You can see I'm a little bit mental. But if you are committed to it, I would suggest that you go to the Urban Land Institute online, you buy every single book that they have on the topic of property development, and you learn what it is to be a professional. If it's worth doing, it's worth doing properly, right? Property and properly. It's certainly worth doing properly, and my advice to you is to study everything that you can, to spend time with people within the industry, whether that's consultants, whether that's property developers, whether that's property investors, to understand it, to have a great breadth of knowledge. Look forward to seeing what you build, man.
All right, next question.
Mm-hmm. Ali Sawali. Far out, Ali Sawali. Who would I recommend to use KiwiSaver? Everyone who has a job. Hope that helps, Ollie.
Next question, Sunny.
Sunny S.
How to raise capital? I remember when you bought the Avenue site.
Okay, me too. Yeah, so that was a $65 million deal. The way to raise capital is to have a good deal. So money follows a good investment. It's just basics. It's just the simple principles. People confuse it, complicate it, make it difficult. But money is attracted to a good opportunity. So whether that comes from your bank or whether it comes from investors, wherever it comes from, the first thing that you need to have to raise money is to have a good deal.
All right.
So is that from us? Is that us done on Instagram?
I have a couple more here.
Okay. Hit me. What else have we got coming through on the interweb?
All right. Mark Freddy.
Hey, Mark Freddy, I know who you are and I know where you live.
Do you like jam and peanut butter together?
What? No, man. Can't stand that. I'm all about the peanut butter and honey.
Next question. Rochelle Sheldon.
Hey, Rochelle.
Top tips for taking action and not creating roadblocks for yourself.
Okay, schedule it, plan for it, So being here today is a little bit nerve-wracking. Being on social media is a little bit nerve-wracking. You guys can't tell because I know I've got a bit of a monster personality, but I'm shitting myself. I'm shitting myself about actually putting myself out there on social media. So the only way to overcome that is to know that today at 11 o'clock, you guys showed up with a camera crew and we're doing it. Okay, so I've got just no choice apart from to be me and to do that.
Okay. Esteban?
Esteban, you're a very handsome man, I know, Esteban.
How to deal with risk?
Hey man, risk is a funny thing. So you may be talking about either your psychology or managing financial risk. So the first thing I'm going to deal with is psychology. You've got to build muscle in that direction. And if you are not used to taking risk, or you will find it a lot harder. And that's why you need to make small decisions every single day of your life. Make that commitment, have a ritual, move towards it, and then you will build muscle in that direction. And having your psychology right is so important, so you see the way the world actually is, rather than the way that you think it may be. It's critical. You've got to get your psychology right when it comes to risk. The other thing about managing financial risk, well, that's about scoping it. It's about really understanding exactly where your risk lies and finding ways to mitigate it. Hope that helps you, Esteban.
All right, that's it for today.
That's a wrap.
Done.
Cool, we're done.